This is my section. Earth is under my protection. Earth is Gallifrey. I've got two hearts. Your life is saved. Run into the master raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not Rick. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, I must dash. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a TARDIS, baby.
Would you like a jelly, baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo. I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me. I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to the greatest Doctor Who podcast in the entire world.
Yes, it is.
It's D4WH. Oh, sorry, I've got in my morning radio voice. How's it going? Welcome to D4WH, a brand new episode for you. Coming into your ear holes, coming out of our mouth holes. Fantastic. Joining me as always is my other host. It's Nicchia.
Yay. Hello. Could we not mention holes?
Okay.
You know,
movie holes. You don't want to mention that kids' movie holes.
No holes, no moist. You know,
Okay,
there's
all
just
right.
a few words. Anyway, hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm a little bit jacked up, as you might imagine. Had
Yes.
a fantastic performance last
Yes,
night.
I will say that Adam was part of the Briz Comedy Festival.
That's correct. Yay!
He was the usher, but gee,
Yes.
he had a good time.
I showed people to their seats like nobody's business.
And sat on their laps.
Yeah, people were like, please stop doing that.
No, you're in a show around the campfire.
That's correct. Big Fork did a show called Around the Campfire. It went amazingly, went really well. So thank you to the Powerhouse and the Comedy Festival
Yeah,
for having
and he's
us.
still drunk.
I'm still drunk. Still a little bit tipsy. So great.
That's all right. You can tell me how beautiful I am. Isn't that what Carl Stefanovic did when he was drunk on our morning show on Channel 9?
Oh, now you just expect it?
Yeah, now I
he
expect
rang
it.
you and he said, oh, Zakia, you're
You're so beautiful. I
But you
know
see the
it.
same one that just wore the same suit for every
Yes,
day of the year?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and of course everyone's beautiful when you're drunk.
Yeah.
They are.
And joining us, you just heard him speak just then. It's our friend, comedian, Ben Rolfe.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Ben, do you want to go through your history with Doctor Who?
Ooh, so I came in pretty late. I came in with Matt Smith.
Yay for Matt.
And he's still my favourite.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a big Matt Smith fan.
Have you gone back and watched the Eccleston and Tennant?
So I've done the series in like a really, really weird way.
Yep.
I started with season 5 and then watched season 6 together because I came in when season 6 was coming out.
Right.
And then while I was waiting for season 7, I went back and I did 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you did them in the reverse order.
Well, it's Doctor Who. Why would I do
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
okay.
Yeah.
designated time order?
Yeah, timey-wimey.
Yeah.
And so then I went back and now I've done 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Have you watched Jodie Whittaker's?
I have. I really enjoyed it. actually.
It was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
We loved it.
Oh, especially the India episode. The India episode was probably my favourite.
Oh,
The Demons of
the Punjab.
Of the Punjab.
yeah, we really enjoyed that episode too.
I just like the word Punjab.
It's just really nice.
Cool word.
It's really nice just to see some history of outside England and America.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it was tangentially related to England.
It
But
was.
the English weren't the good guys in that.
But they've all got their hand in everyone's history.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're kind of always there as a kind of side character.
And if
Yeah.
they're doing episodes about the colonies, hopefully Australia will be in the next season.
Yay for Australia.
Bring over them convicts, yeah?
Yeah. He stole a hanky. Send him over.
That's the doctor. He stole a hanky.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Send him over.
the doctor becomes Jean Valjean and he comes to
Jean,
Australia.
oh my god! I've been watching.
Who am I?
I've been watching the BBC miniseries.
Oh, and there's no singing in that, is
no
there?
singing.
Ah.
Yes.
Is Russell Crowe in it as well?
No.
You think he should be in every version of...
Hell yes. Russell Crowe should just be in everything full stop.
His singing is terrible in that movie.
But
It
it was
works.
amazing.
And it's...
I thought it was okay, and then I went back to listen to like the 20th anniversary album, and I was like, oh my god, Russell Crowe is terrible compared to the dude who's in that.
Yeah, but look, he's a lot better than Pierce Brosnan was in Mamma Mia.
Oh, I haven't seen Mamma
Oh,
Mia.
that I cringed for him, and I love Pierce Brosnan.
ABBA songs are not that difficult to sing if you've ever been to karaoke.
Yeah. No, they were for Pierce.
Yeah, well, apparently Pierce has not been to karaoke.
No.
No one's told him.
Or singing lessons.
The irony is that Russell Crowe's the only one in that movie that's actually in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the worst singer in that movie.
I know.
Well, I doubt they would have let him come out and be like, singing like he's in a 40-odd foot of grunt.
Is it 30-odd foot of grunt or 40?
Oh, I added an extra 10.
You did.
I'm so sorry.
Such a man thing.
That's the... Oh, yeah. Hyperbole. 2,000 odd foot of grunt is his band, I believe.
It's like that very old joke, why do Australian women have crow's feet around their eyes?
Why?
And just squint your eyes and go, you want me to suck what? Boom, boom.
Carrots, all right.
Right.
Yeah, right. We start as we always do with Doctor Who news. The City of London will be celebrating 100 years of female suffrage by awarding a Freedom of the City of London to more than 100 influential and inspiring women.
Woohoo. Am I on the list?
Didn't check the whole list.
I
should be
have
there.
a really stupid question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suffrage is being able to vote, right?
Well,
Am I
yes,
close?
the suffragettes
cool.
were
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
voting and equality and being able to do any job we wanted and that stuff. Not being made to sit home and do tapestry.
But they are allowed to do tapestry if they want to.
Oh, yeah, you can.
yeah.
I
but
mean, why wouldn't you? Tapestry is
Yeah.
fun.
I hate it. But yeah,
Yeah, there were a lot of suffragettes in London. That's why it's known as Suffragette City.
yes.
The award is to commemorate the Representation of the People Act 1918, which allowed women over the age of 30 the right to vote.
Well, so under 30 we couldn't vote.
That's correct.
Too stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Weren't old enough. Your pretty little heads weren't old enough.
Oh.
So we're still a little bit,
Yeah.
And back then, it would be only like 5 voting years. You only get to like vote once before you die.
Yeah, most of them died in childbirth before 30, so it was 7 people got to vote.
So it was like
Woo.
a trick.
It was,
Yeah.
it was commemorative, basically. Like, yeah, sure, we'll let you vote, but only if you haven't had kids by
Yeah,
then.
tricky.
It should also be pointed out that it also allowed men over the age of 21 who didn't own land the right to vote. Yeah.
Lovely.
No, not just women, but they're also like, what about men without land? Let's let them vote as well.
No, look, what would they know? They've got no land.
Did the women have to own land before they could vote over 30?
I'm not entirely sure they were allowed to own land.
We weren't
back
allowed
then.
to own land.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've checked there that holds up in history.
Yeah.
It would take another 10 years before the law would be changed to allow all women over the age of 21 to vote.
Oh, God, what a fight. Anyway.
Still going, am I right?
Yeah, still going.
One of the people who will be offered this award, anyone want to take a guess?
I just say Karen Gillan. Am I close?
Influential woman?
A man?
Yes, it's David Tennant, the 13th Doctor herself, Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
Jodie trained at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama, which is based in London, which is why she's getting the award, because you had to have some connection to London. The award is named after medieval tradition afforded to trusted members of the city who were allowed to enter and leave the city at their leisure. Because they used to have gates around.
Yes.
It used to be walled, and you had to, get permission to leave the city.
Is that when it was Londinium, when the Romans had it? Did the Romans put the wall around it to keep
Maybe.
all
The Romans did like to wall things off.
They did. They were very Trumpish with their wall.
Oh.
Their wall.
So I'm just imagining like a citywide nursing home. Like they weren't allowed to leave unless they had like the little tags on for day passes.
I think
Yeah.
it was more not to get people to leave, but to stop people from entering the city.
Oh, okay.
Because
If
you
they're-
don't want those undesirables coming in.
No, people with the leprosy and
Yeah.
the plague and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
Women over
And-
30.
Yeah. Oh,
They'd get a vote then.
can't even vote. God damn it. Those who receive this award can then be referred to as freemen.
Oh, not Freemasons.
Not
that.
Freemasons.
No, Kathy
not,
Freeman's.
Ah,
yeah.
Yay, Kathy.
That's a 20-year-old reference. Or not free women.
Oh, no, free men.
Yeah,
free
free
men.
men,
Yeah. Yeah, no, the women weren't free. We're still not free. I'm glad you let me out of the cage today.
Yeah, what do you mean? Sexism is cured. Racism, sexism, it's all been cured, guys.
Thank
Me, as a mid-30s white guy, I have announced that all of that stuff is done.
Oh, God, well, as soon as a man says it's true. Yay!
Hey, do you want the right to vote or what?
No.
No.
I
Oh,
don't
fantastic.
anymore because I've seen who we've got and it's shit. So you can have that back.
Hey, at least you don't. I've technically never changed my electoral information. Barnaby Joyce is my member of parliament.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I do feel very sorry for you.
Who knows, by the time this episode comes out, we might have a new Prime Minister. So either by election or just, it's a Tuesday.
Knife stabbing.
Knife stabbing.
Everybody gets a shot. I like that.
Today we are doing something new, something a little bit different. We love reviewing episodes and talking to people about their favourite doctors, but we also want to create something that is uniquely ours. Today we will be presenting Doctor Who episode ideas. Each of us has our own idea, and we will go through them all. Then after the episode, you can go onto our Facebook or Twitter and vote for the idea that you like the most. The winner will be written and turned into our own Big Finish style audio play. The rules are simple. I want a good clean fight. Nothing below the belt.
Oh, really? So I shouldn't have eaten Ben's synopsis when he lay it on the table.
And it's also not erotic fan fiction. So nothing below the belt.
God, well, I've got to start again. Hang on.
The rules are simple. Rule 1. Our episode will include a famous historical figure. Think of episodes like The Girl in the Fireplace or The Shakespeare Code. It can't be a mythical historical figure like Robin Hood.
Boo.
Well, if we do this again, it's these rules are...
If we do it again, I'm going King Arthur. Anyway,
Okay,
keep
all right.
going.
King Arthur didn't really exist.
Yeah, but so did Robin Hood kind of...
It's debatable.
Well, that's a mythical creature. Robin Hood is a mythical creature.
Well, those 6 arms made him very...
Well, he had a head of a Robin Hood and a body of a Robin Hood.
of a robin.
Yes, of an actual Robin.
Wearing a hood.
Tweet, tweet.
Rock and Robin.
Robin Hood was the first talking animal in history.
Yeah, do you know, he rocked in the treetops all day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song.
Did Robin Hood create rock and roll music?
Yeah.
I thought it was Elvis, but oh well.
Oh, God, Elvis.
Oh, does he smell?
I don't know.
He's dead, so he...
Possibly
probably.
now. But I love Elvis.
And so does my mum.
Oh, my God.
We have all this religious iconography in our living room, but then also a giant portrait of Elvis.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
When I was in America, I went past this place called the Corn Palace, and there was like a 10-meter by 5-meter image of Elvis on the side of the building, made entirely out of corn.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Was he eating corn?
He was not eating corn, but if you look closely, there's like a little bird just eating the corn off the side of the building.
Americans are obsessed with
Corn and Elvis.
Yeah,
Do not upset our American listeners,
No, but I'm
people.
saying that they're obsessed with Elvis's last, his sandwich that he used to love, which was like...
Corned beef?
No, it was like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but with bacon on it or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I watched a show on Netflix that's like carnival foods, and 2 different people on the one season both tried to recreate that as something on a stick that you could deep fry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sandwich on a stick?
Yeah, it was like a dough, but it had like peanut butter and bacon and jelly.
Oh, I thought they just made a sandwich and then put a stick through it like kebab styles.
No. It was a little bit more complicated than that.
Well, I love Young Elvis. I watched a lot of Elvis movies because...
I love that TV series, Young Elvis.
We only had 2 channels, the ABC or some crappy regional one. They played a lot of Elvis movies. So I'm always down for a clam bake. Woo!
It was always on before young Indiana Jones, young Elvis, and he'd always have to solve like a crime with his hips. So have to solve a crime with his hips. Guys, we're coming up with an episode already. This is fantastic.
Yeah, Elvis's hips.
Yeah, Elvis's hips solving crimes.
There is a show called Little Elvis. It's an animated show.
Oh, there is
really?
too.
I remember that show.
There is too. Was it? He wasn't actually Elvis. He was like
it
the
was
nephew.
Like canon that Elvis dropped him off at like an Australian gas station as a baby.
And now he's just like a
Yeah.
5-year-old Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
So hang on, Elvis dropped a baby off at a
illegitimate
servo.
child.
It was just a random baby, like, dropped off at a service station, and they included a picture of Elvis, and they were just like, oh my god, you're Elvis's son, so they raised him as little Elvis.
I have never seen Elvis at a servo, I can tell you now.
Well, there's nothing like a kids show that starts with a deadbeat dad who abandons his son. I love those kid shows. Also, Elvis went on to, I don't know if he married his wife when she was still under the age of 18, but he certainly met his
14
wife.
or 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
A little bit of Elvis trivia. Barbara Streisand wanted him to be in A Star Is Born.
Yep.
She originally talked to him instead of Chris Christopherson, and his manager, Tom Parker, who I think is a bit of a dick, said, nah, don't do that. Go do another Clambake 17. Anyway.
An interesting fact, Bradley Cooper wanted Elvis to be in A Star Is Born, the one he just did with Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah, but he's passed away.
But, well, he's pretending to be dead, so he couldn't come back out and do that.
He's somewhere with Jim Morrison. I know where they are.
In heaven.
Oh, we hope so.
Rule number 2. That's right, we've only gone through one rule so far. Rule number 2, it has to include your own original monster, baddie, or alien race. So no Daleks, Cybermen, or Weeping Angels.
I'll cross that off.
Yep.
Yep.
3, the Doctor of the storyline can be anyone, including previous Doctors, or someone who we want to play the Doctor. And 4, the episode should include a companion, or someone who could be the companion.
Well, that's fair enough.
I think that all makes up a good Doctor Who episode.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, that's sort of pretty much got mine down to one line.
This is
yeah.
going to be the shortest episode we've ever
Yeah, I
done.
think Rule 2's just kind of mucked me up a bit too, but I think I can recover.
No, that's all right.
I think I land on 2 feet still.
I hope so.
Yeah, you do have 4 feet, so you could land on 2 of them.
Yeah.
We will also be suggesting ideas while the person is talking about their episode. However, it will be up to the creator to decide if they want to accept those suggestions.
All right.
And of course, by creator, I mean our Lord and Saviour, Sydney Newman.
Oh, Sydney.
All right, who wants to go first?
Not me.
I'm ready to scissor paper rocket.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We're three ways scissors paper rock. This is going to work great for
No, that
for
sucks.
podcast. Should we film it? Let's film it and put it up. Becktech's going to record. Going to film it. We're going to put it up on Facebook. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Ben goes first.
Ben goes first.
Or you choose. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'm happy to go first. I'll go first, yeah.
Ben will go first.
Yay! Hello.
All right. Talk us through your episode.
I'll set the opening scene. 1920s England. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter where. All England's the same.
Did you hear that,
Oh,
England?
burn.
How many English viewers do you have?
Less than we do in America. So
Okay, so
don't make fun of America.
I only make fun of England. Anyway, so 1920s England, stage, full crowd. It's a magic show.
All right.
The magician, he is trying to break out of a box. Mm-hmm. The crowd are really into it. They're into it. The magician escapes from the locks and he looks at the audience, and the crowd all start cheering.
Yep.
As they're cheering, a blue box appears on the stage.
Ooh, I like
Yeah,
that.
I like it already.
Out walks number 11, Matt Smith, my favourite
Yes.
doctor,
Yes.
Okay.
with Clara.
Ooh, I love Clara too.
I'm going with Clara because, I mean, it's 1920s, and if there's one thing about Clara is that she can rock those clothes.
Like
the 18s,
The Orient
1800s,
Express. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so strange because we get a lot of people telling us that they've heard people don't like Clara, and I have yet to meet someone who does. Oh no, I met someone last night who doesn't like Clara, but that was the first person I've ever met who doesn't like Clara.
Heaps of people tell me they don't like
Yeah,
Clara.
it's so strange.
I love her.
Yeah.
So they walk out on the stage, the crowd erupting to even more applause.
Yay.
They look around, and there's posters for the performer. It's Harry Houdini.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Houdini. I love Houdini.
My episode, Dr. Houdini.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
I started with a pun and work backwards.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the Houdini is going to be help out the Doctor.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
A little team up there.
And what's the conflict? What's the baddie? Like, what do you want to reveal next?
So,
Do you want to talk us through the episode?
So Harry Houdini decides to chat up with the Doctor because he's just landed a blue box on his stage to show he wants to know what kind of magic this is.
Yes.
Also, something you might not know about Harry Houdini in real life is that he was into the afterlife. He was.
Yep.
Was.
He
Yeah.
wanted to prove that the afterlife existed.
He told his wife if he could contact her, he would. I always remember reading that. Yeah.
And later in his life, he went around disproving not skeptics, but mystics.
Yes, and so he wanted to meet up with his wife in the afterlife and would go around to these guys, wanting it to be true, but would not give them a free pass. He would just go, oh, hey, what was her favourite colour? I was, purple. Aha, she was colourblind. You know, that kind of thing. He'd prove them all wrong.
And he'd also sit in on the seances and realised that they were just using tricks that he could do himself.
Yeah.
So he realised most of them were bullshit.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can see the string.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or the table wrappers and all that, yeah.
And that's actually basically where it started, the skepticism that magicians have had. So later magicians, obviously, we're talking about Penn and Teller and that sort of thing. Who,
Yeah.
There's a magician, and he
David Copperfield?
No, he's not a very well known one. He's more well known. Frank, yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
He's more well known for he put up $1 million and said.
Oh, I remember reading this, yeah.
Like Rudy or something, the great Rudy or something. But basically he put up $1 million and he
Rudy.
said, any psychics, any mystics, anything like that, all they have to do is just come in, we'll test their powers under scientific conditions.
Yep.
And if they can prove that 100% with no doubt that they have these powers, they'll be given $1 million. Yeah.
Did anyone pass the test?
No, of
Okay,
course
I guess
not.
I would see it in the news.
course
I mean,
not.
if someone proved that.
Like psychics, would have to be in a room by themselves without any interaction with the person that they were speaking to, and therefore they, and they wouldn't be able to do it because, and he used to go on talk shows and be like, well, if people have these powers, I don't understand why they don't go through our things and they'll get $1 million. So anyway, sorry, continue.
So the Harry Houdini decides to team up with the Doctor. There's another magician in town that he wants to investigate.
Yeah.
He's called Lord Claude.
Oh yes,
Played by Bill Bailey.
fantastic.
I know Bill Bailey's already been in Doctor Who, but if
Yeah.
there's one thing we know is that having been on Doctor Who does not discard you from coming back as a different character on Doctor Who.
Or being the Doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Lord Claude is played by
Bill Bailey.
They go to his show. His main trick is called the Hand of God. So Lord Claude is kind of like because it's Bill Bailey, he's kind of bumbling. He's not a great magician. So he's kind of bumbling through the act, and they're sitting there. The Doctor's like enthralled. Matt Smith's loving it. Even all the little mistakes. Harry Houdini's there just pulling apart the show until he gets to the final act, and he puts on a metal glove. Ooh. And they bring out his little assistant.
And it
It's like
has
a little
5 stones on it, and he
Yes.
clicks his finger.
And
So his little 5-year-old assistant Tommy comes and brings out a dead body.
Oh God.
Yeah, on stage.
Yep.
Freshly dead body, maybe a day or two. And Lord Claude puts his hand out over the dead body and it springs back to life.
Oh.
And now all of a sudden the Doctor and Harry Houdini are both enthralled. Everyone's what's going on?
Yeah.
Back to life. The person is alive for about a minute or two.
Yep.
And then they fall back flat on the table.
Okay.
That's the end of the show.
Ooh.
So I don't have a monster, I don't have a villain. The glove is actually the resurrection gauntlet from the first episode of Torchwood.
Yeah, hello. Love it.
How did he get it?
Yeah.
Well, Lord Claude just found it in Cardiff.
He found it in Cardiff.
Because I looked on the Doctor Who wiki and there is actually so little information about it.
Yeah.
They would have just used it for Torchwood.
Yeah, and no one's really gone through and
But
done anything with it.
I assume it's alien technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also, too, a thing I had to look up too was apparently it doesn't have anything to do with Rassilion's glove, because he also has one.
Rassilon,
Yeah. So I call him Rassillion.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rassillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Rassillion are so close. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was doing my Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, I set you up for it. I was quite happy for you to go on with it.
No, we will not go to Gallifrey.
Let me
Let's
go.
go, Gallifrey.
Let me go.
Gallifrey.
So it's not the hand of Omega or Omega.
No, it's the resurrection gauntlet.
It's the resurrection gauntlet.
And also, too, I mean, as you brought up earlier, gauntlets are all the rage right now. So why
I'm
not?
always running the gauntlet.
Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, yeah. So could Lord Claude have been like this is what I'm thinking. He was like a street sweeper, like garbage man, basically. And he finds the Resurrection Gauntlet in like a big garbage pile.
Ooh, okay, that's possible. I just thought he was going to be just always a struggling magician.
Oh, okay.
Right. Bill Bailey.
Yeah.
You look at him, you think struggling magician.
Yeah.
His crazy hair, everything.
And this was before the invention of the keyboard, so he could not be as popular as he is today.
No, his stand-up just didn't fly.
So what I'm trying to work out is, I'm trying to remember the resurrection gauntlet. Did it keep them alive for 24 hours or just a few minutes?
Just a
So
few
there
minutes.
was 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
2.
It's been a while since I watched Torchwood.
So there's the left and the right hand, because That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
All right.
The left-hand one is the one that was in the very first episode, and it will bring him back for a couple minutes.
Yep.
And he's someone with a strong emotional
Connection.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is another one that they brought back, which is they used to bring back from the dead. What was his name? Owen?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
So they
Yes.
use that, but it's a bit more sinister. It will bring people back, but it will suck the life out of the person that was using it and keep them alive for as long as possible.
Wow.
Oh, maybe there's something in that.
So that's what I was trying to play with.
Maybe Lord Claude is trying to find the other gauntlet.
I thought that maybe he has both gloves.
What do the both gloves do if you've got both?
Yeah, what happens
Well,
if you
they didn't bring that up, so that's.
So that's where we go.
I think that's what we do.
Maybe he has both of them on and he starts clapping and, I don't know, something happens. So you say he has both gauntlets. He's not
Yes.
looking for the other gauntlet.
Well, I was thinking like he's using the left-handed glove in his show.
Yeah.
And so Harry and the Doctor, they decide to go and break into his shop or whatever after the show.
His crappy caravan he lives in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they go in there, they find 2 boxes.
And they find both the gauntlets.
You know, so Harry Houdini's he's picking the locks kind of thing on one, and the Doctor's just watching him. And then just as Harry Houdini's about to break his lock, you know, he just gets out his sonic screwdriver and says,
Lovely.
you know, I got my
I
little
like that.
magic wand kind of
Does
thing.
the Doctor recognise the gauntlet? Because, I mean, he hasn't seen it on Torchwood, but does he know what it is?
I think that's open interpretation. I was
Okay.
quite happy for him to not know what it was, to kind of leave a little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
And then them trying to work out.
Yeah, just know there's some sort of alien technology
Yep.
that he just doesn't understand.
So somebody has got to be after the 2 gloves, and Bill Bailey's Lord Claude is actually in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just doesn't know. He's just kind of
But he
bumbling
doesn't
through.
know, yeah.
I was going to say, if Lord Claude isn't the baddie, then there should be another baddie trying to, like, get the powers of the... Maybe the original creators of the gauntlets are trying to take them back, or...
Maybe they give you eternal life.
Maybe if you wear both of them, they give you eternal life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And the power over life and death of everyone else. So therefore, you don't want evil people having them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why the gauntlets were separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and would your baddie be? Do you think it would be an alien or a human, a twisted human trying to get them to use them for themselves?
I think I'm going to go with alien because, I mean, we've
Yep.
got quite a few humans in this episode already. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I like
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
There's some
Anything
good
else you want
stuff
to tell
in
us
there.
about the episode?
Oh, so the thing I was going to do with at the end is Lord Claude's little 5-year-old assistant, Tommy, is I bring this up because now Matt Smith's aesthetic was always the fez and
Yeah.
the big chin.
Yeah.
There was a comedian slash magician in England in the 1960s called Tommy Cooper.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
I remember
which
Tommy
is
Cooper. Wow.
very much what they based Matt Smith. I believe they
Yeah.
put Matt Smith's look on. I wanted that to be a young Tommy Cooper who was actually born in the late 1920s. And so at the end of the episode, he gives him a fez.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow. Here you go, little Tommy Cooper.
Yeah. And then at the end, they decide to try and split up the gloves again. And so they lock one in the vault in Cardiff in a church, which is where they find
Yep.
one of them in Torchwood.
Yep.
And then for the other glove, they take it to a time rift. And so they go, it can pop up in anywhere in space and time.
Yeah.
And so they throw it in, and then it comes up on the screen, Cardiff 3 hours ago, and it just also lands in Cardiff as well.
And they were very remiss and they're getting rid of.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
I like it too.
Good episode. So that's Ben's episode you'll be voting for. Do you want to go next? Do you want me to go next? Do you want to go last?
I'll go next.
All right.
Mine's convoluted.
Like every good Doctor Who story is.
Well, you know, I found it difficult
Okay.
to put it together. So I had to write the notes down.
But you are a writer and you love Doctor Who, so I was
Yeah,
surprised that you found this so difficult.
But I don't write sci-fi because my brain and sci-fi don't mix. I like comedy
Yeah.
and real life stuff. So
Okay.
my historical figure is W.B. Yeats, okay? The poet.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
He wrote my favourite poem, which is When You Are Old. Love that poem. So it's Yeats, Dark Matter and Time Slips.
That's a good combo. Oh, really?
So what happens is the Doctor, and I think it's Tom Baker, but I haven't worked out who it is yet. He decides that Sarah loves Yeats and she loves that particular poem. And he says, well, I know Yeats, I'll take you to meet him. So they go along to meet Yeats. This is Victorian England.
Yep.
And they find Yeats. Anyway, he's really, really excited because, and this is a true story, he is part of a secret society called the Golden Dawn Society, which was a real society in Victorian England.
Full of riders?
No, it was all about the paranormal and the mystical and the occult. And
Okay, so we're all kind of going with a bit of a...
we have
Yeah.
all kind of gone with that. Anyway, so it was a secret society. A lot of the people who started it were Freemasons.
Okay.
So there are lots of these rituals and, you start at the bottom and you go to the top, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, at the top are the three chiefs, who I've got their names if we need them. But what happened, this is a true story. They found a manuscript and they decided to decipher this manuscript. And they said that the manuscript explained rituals on how to travel to an alternate plane.
Ooh.
So how to travel to what they thought was the psychic plane, okay?
Right.
So they believe they're going to a spiritual plane. So they've been running these rituals and sending people off and they don't come back.
Ooh.
But what the doctor realises after looking at the writings is it's actually leaked in from an alternate universe, the multi-universe theory.
Yep.
And the passages, what it does is actually doesn't take you to another plane. It takes you to a part where two universes have met, like a Venn diagram. There's
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
little
yeah.
space in between. That's completely dark matter.
Sort of like the solar tract.
Yeah, so sort of. But
Yeah.
when you go there, you become dark matter. Everything is dark matter.
Oh, but I thought dark matter and matter would just cancel each other out and you would automatically die.
Well, you don't. You exist, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you're outside this universe, so it's different rules.
Yeah.
And it's
okay.
sci-fi, so you can
Different
do whatever you
rules.
want.
Now, this is where I keep going.
So they remain a person, but they're made out of dark
so
matter.
there is and I will show you a photo later, but there is a big thing out there of photos people have where there's like a black figure right in the back with a hat on, just black. And a friend of mine took a photo, and when she sent it to us, we all went, who's the guy in the back? And it's just this. And so I think that's them trying to get back into our universe. However, this has all been created by the other alien race in the universe, because what happened was they worked out how to use dark matter to, make their lives much better. But they did what we do when it comes to mining, and they mined the shit out of it. And there's none left. And so they're using us. We're fuel. So the
okay.
people who go in there become fuel to keep the dark matter, keep their universe going.
Wow, that's interesting.
So the doctor has two choices. He can get rid of the manuscript and get rid of anyone who knows anything about it and stop people travelling to this, I call it an nth universe, because it's like the crossover. But if he does that, then a whole universe collapses and dies. And that's mass genocide. And so the choice is, what do you do? And that was...
I think what he needs to do is he gets a pretty little dog that has a sign on it that says, "Stop a Darnie." And he says, "Stop mining dark matter."
So there was that. And then there was also, there's some stuff about time slips, which I read about, where people say that they're, particularly in Liverpool, they say that they're wandering along and then suddenly they're in another time.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that.
And then they come back. And I wondered whether you could use that to say that if someone can, from that nth universe, if you can escape, it's through a time slip. And you just come back as that person, and that person takes your place, but you don't remember that you were dark matter fuel.
You're into the time slip
So you have
where
to say...
nothing will ever be the same.
So as I say, it's a little convoluted.
No, that's right. When they come back from the time slip, do that time
can't.
Oh, okay.
That's
but
it.
You
You'd die because we're not a dark matter world. He can't save them.
I love that on a T-shirt. We're not a dark matter world.
Yeah.
So you can't bring them back from the dark
can't bring
matter.
them back.
So
No.
they are dead, basically.
They are. Well,
Essentially.
they're kept in perpetuity until
So there's nothing there to do?
then nothing.
No, okay, there's nothing.
It's not
Just you.
like the void.
There's no video games. There's
That's
no.
what I was more
there's
worried about,
nothing to do.
entertainment above food and water.
The only thing, well, you don't need food, you don't need water. The only thing that you can do is watch your world, but you can't interact with it. You can watch your children grow up and die. You can watch everything, but and eventually you will become a big black mass and become fuel and because black matter keeps the galaxies from collapsing.
I feel like there's probably going to be a scene in that episode where they're performing the ritual on W.B. Yeats, and just before they finish, the doctor's going to storm in and be like, "No, stop!"
So something to do with that, but it was all very secret, and then it fell apart in 1902 because they all had infighting. Because this person wanted to be a chief, and this person, blah,
So because
blah,
of
blah.
local politics, an entire universe died because there was no more fuel.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the same thing that happens to every community theatre theatre company,
Well,
basically.
look, I always think that the Doctor brought down a Harriet Jones by one word.
Yeah.
Can he bring down a whole group from the society with one word? So I think it could be too much in it. I thought there was something in it because I do love the
that's
Golden
interesting.
Dawn Society. I was really fascinated reading about
Yeah.
them. And I know that Yeats was in it, Bram Stoker,
Yep.
all those guys. But I loved Yeats.
Bram Stoker is his porn name.
Yeah. Stroker. So that was mine.
Is there
I
any
like it.
way to, like, to solve the problem at the end? Is there any way to fill that place with non-organic matter instead of using people? But do you have to say the incantation to get in?
Yeah, they have to do the rituals.
And a table can't say an incantation.
No.
Unless you carve the words into the table?
Well, I think they need organic.
Okay.
And so I was interested by the choice that you have. Like the Tom Baker had the choice he could completely get rid of the Daleks, but he didn't want to commit genocide. And what do? Do you save humans from being used as fuel by another universe, or do you let a whole universe collapse? As Peter Capaldi said, there's always a choice. Sometimes they're just not good choices.
What if one of
that's
his
interesting.
poems is like a seal, like at the end? So like he writes a poem, so that's a seal to seal off.
I like
to do it at
that.
the end.
We
Yeah.
can find, because he's written many, so we could find one and throw that in.
Yeah, throw some of his poetry in there.
Yeah, beautiful poetry.
Maybe Sarah Jane quotes a poem to him. Oh, I love this poem. And he's like, I haven't
Read that? I haven't written that one
read
yet.
that yet. What are you
No.
talking about?
That's
like,
a
but
good one.
that's a good idea for a poem. I should probably do that.
Yeah, I like that.
And she basically inspires him to write a poem that she learnt
that.
from him, you know.
Yeah, so, there's all sorts of things like she can get captured by the three chiefs and they decide they're going to send her in, and, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with that.
So does anyone within the society know the truth about the dark matter, or they all think it's...
They all think that they're all happy to watch you go off to the spiritual plane. They think you're going off to commune with your loved ones who have passed on. They don't realise they're sending you off to be fuel.
So they just think you're going off to camp.
Yeah,
and
have fun.
Meanwhile, you end up in a fireplace.
Yeah,
Well,
and
camps have fireplaces.
Yeah, but you don't live in the fireplace.
Okay, valid point.
so I think you keep your form for a while, but they all must meld into a big ball. But your consciousness stays with you. That's the worst bit.
Is there any way to rescue their consciousness?
No.
Put it in the library?
Well, you could put them in the library if we wanted to.
If the Doctor could mesh those two... Anyway,
It's quite dark.
yeah. It's quite dark matter.
But yeah. So that was mine.
I like it. I really like it. Anything else you'd like to say about the episode?
No.
All right.
Did you like that?
I did, yeah. Fantastic. Kept us in suspense until
That
you said
was-
no.
That was pretty much it.
All right, now it's time for my episode. So we've heard the first two episodes. Now it's time for the last episode. My doctor is a man in his mid-30s, a hilarious personality, but he can be serious when needed. He's caring and sensitive, a little bit chubby, but still incredibly sexy.
His name is Adam.
There when you need him, but can give you space as required. It's me, basically. My ideal doctor would be me.
Aw.
So vote for me.
Okay, and what do? You just do a podcast and...
Yeah. The doctor does a podcast about himself.
Yeah.
And it goes out and it's fantastic.
What number are you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it would really be explained. It would just be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think he would reference... It would definitely be after Jodie Whittaker's, but I'm not going to say that it's definitely the one after.
Well, you can't be
Jodie Whittaker's.
before, because we already know everyone
No.
Yeah, I
before.
Well, it could be in the early before he became William Hartnell.
Yeah, I think you're Dr. 22.
Okay, Dr. 22.
Dr.
I'm
22.
going to say even higher, because then I know the show's going to be around for a lot longer.
Yeah, 165.
Yep.
Like, whoa, how many regenerations did you get? The historical figure that I'm doing... Now, I'm noticing a bit of a theme. We're all around the turn of a century.
Oh, really?
Oscar Wilde, the famous Victorian-era English playwright and writer who was imprisoned at the turn of the century for homosexuality. He is most well known for the play The Importance of Being Earnest and the novel The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Okay, that's the one I already mainly know.
Yeah, so that's the one where they have a picture and the picture gets older, but the person who is the picture of doesn't get any older.
Dorian's very evil, but his picture, everything he does, doesn't affect him. He's still poety.
And The Importance of Being Earnest is just about people trying to get married.
Love that.
The alien species, I have created an alien species called the Xylvoth, a shaggy, long-toothed bipedal creature about 3 feet or 1 meter in size, with limited natural time travel abilities. They say that the first Xylovoth was born near the end of the universe by breeding the last 2 animals in existence. Mutated and evolved versions of what was once known as a pating and an agador.
Oh, we know the pating, don't we?
Yeah.
I know
we got-
Agador.
Yeah.
Agador was the third Doctor.
I had to go through to find something that looked a little bit like a Yeti. So
Yeah.
it's basically like a
Agador.
mini Yeti. And the pating, yes, obviously from season 11. But basically because it's indestructible and can exist through space. The breeding scientists rescued the creatures and took them into the time vortex to conduct their final experiment. They were eager to see if evolution would find a way for the resulting creature to survive, even as everything around them was dying. The hybrid creature watched as the universe began to collapse in on itself. From instinct, it knew that only death and darkness lay forward. The time vortex had saturated its cells, so when the mind of the first Xylovoth was filled with terror at the end of everything, it could only think of one thing: to escape, to run away from the end of the universe. And thus, the Xylovoth travelled backwards in time a few years, and continued to do so. It's unknown how the Xylovoth breeds, if at all. Ill recorded sightings of the Xylovoth may in fact be that original creature.
Ooh.
So it travels backwards in time, not forwards.
I do have one little nitpicky issue I just need to bring up.
Yes.
You say that they were made by breeding the last 2 creatures.
Yeah.
That involves a third creature to do the
Yeah.
breeding. Who's the third? Who's the third?
That's the scientist. So there's a scientist.
Oh, so is this human? Are these creatures?
I hadn't decided. I thought maybe a Time Lord, but then the Doctor would have known that there were other Time Lords. So yeah, it's just some higher level creature. It's the end of the universe.
Okay.
This scientist is trying to figure out how to survive past the end of the universe. They take 2 of the last creatures in the universe.
So it could be the Immortals. So the
Yeah.
fifth Doctor meets the Immortals.
Okay.
They're a funny old nasty breed, and they're always bored with everything. So yeah,
Yeah, so one of those could be My Immortal, the Evanescence album.
yeah.
I'm glad Beck got that because she's a kid.
Bring me to life.
And that was just the mythology. You wouldn't actually see that on the episode, but that's just I created a little bit of a mythology about why this creature can travel backwards in time, and that's what goes into the episode. So the conflict. We see the start of the episode, the Doctor, me, is moonwalking outside of the TARDIS.
Now, is that Michael Jackson moonwalking?
No, oh God, no. I mean, walking, like the
On the
space,
moon.
space astronauts moonwalk.
Okay,
Yes, yeah.
good.
Is it still an egg? The moon? Is the moon still an
The
egg?
moon, oh God, let's not talk about
Yeah,
it.
that didn't really happen.
Well, he's just in space. He's not on the moon. He's just in space, like walking around.
And I'm happy to forget that episode exists.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
okay,
me
cool.
too.
When the TARDIS pulls him back through the time vortex to the week before the death of Oscar Wilde, the Doctor notices a small, white-haired, shaggy creature crawl up beside Wilde and bite him before disappearing into thin air. Now, Oscar Wilde died of an illness. Not entirely sure what of, but I'm saying this creature bit him and he got an illness from that. The Doctor recognises the Xylovoth and meets a young man in his 20s, Edgar, a lover of Oscars, and he will be our companion, basically.
Ooh.
The Xylovoth is a legendary creature considered a myth along the same lines as the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. It is said that once a Xylovoth has bitten you, it will travel backwards through your timeline, trying to kill you as early as it can.
Oh. Why does it want to kill you?
Because it wants to take your life.
Oh,
Much
okay.
like the Weeping Angel.
Take
So
your
it
potential
doesn't
time.
want to kill you, it needs to for it
Survival.
to be able
Yeah.
to, yeah.
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 But to ensure that it gets even part of your life, it'll bite you and then go back further, bite you, go back further, bite you.
Because it's trying to escape the end of the
Yes.
universe, so it'll do anything to keep going.
So it's not an evil creature, it's
It's a
just
survival.
instinct.
Yeah.
It's instinct. And it uses that to fuel its own time travel abilities, basically. It is said that once a Xylovoth has bitten you, it can travel backwards through your timeline, trying to kill you as early as it can. The resulting time paradox will fuel the temporal cells of the creature. The Doctor must try and track the Xylovoth and stop it as it gets earlier and earlier throughout Wilde's timeline. But this also risks him making himself known to Oscar Wilde, which would create a paradox because he's already met him later in life.
Ah.
As he travels back further and further, defeating the Xylovoth, he keeps meeting Edgar, who isn't getting any younger but stays the same age.
Oh.
Edgar doesn't remember the Doctor, which suggests 3 possible scenarios. 1, either the Doctor abandons the plight to save Wilde from the Xylovoth, which seems unlikely. 2, that the Doctor manages to contain the Xylovoth, equally unlikely due to the Xylovoth's temporal abilities. Or 3, that the Xylovoth manages to kill the Doctor.
Or 4, the Doctor has to wear a series of disguises to talk to Oscar Wilde.
Could be. So he keeps himself hidden from Oscar Wilde, but he keeps meeting Edgar, which means that if he had have already met Edgar at the start, Edgar would remember him.
So I like it, except for one small problem.
Yes.
There's no fucking women in it. So what do I get to be in the audio play?
You get to be the Zalvoth.
The tapestry.
But, I mean, he kind of fits in the idea of him being gay, that there's no women in it.
But he was married.
Yeah, there could be female
And had
characters.
kids.
Yeah.
Because you did in those days.
He was married too, I did forget that.
Yeah.
They all had to marry back then.
Yeah. I'm sure gay people know women. Hang out with them. I don't know.
I did think about that as I was finishing writing this last night. I was like, oh, there's no women in this.
I think Edgar should be Edwina.
Well, it's his lover, so it has to be a guy.
All right.
Do you want to be a lover
I get to
of
be
Oscar
the
Wilde?
Zoloff and do this a lot. Adam has no faith in my voice. In my voice acting.
There's two reasons to vote for me. One, so I have to write this episode, and two, because then I have to fucking figure out this episode. The Doctor can't travel directly to Wilde's childhood, as even a single bite of the Zalvoth earlier than 1900 would rob the world of Wilde's classic writings and plays. Because he died in 1900 or 1901.
Well, it kind of makes sense because Oscar Wilde, love him, read lots of his stuff, read his autobiography. He doesn't like women very much. Not just in a love way. He just doesn't really like women very much.
And that's the main reason why I wanted to do Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, he finds us pointless.
Yeah. Wasn't the fact that I really enjoy his writings. It was his misogyny that I love so much.
Oh, and the veil has lifted.
And also the fact that Stephen Fry played him in a movie.
Yeah, I like it. There's something in that as well.
Okay, so
Any questions?
Yes, I do have questions. What if you start a different sequence of like a different person being bitten? Can it bite a different person and start going off them instead?
Probably, but I would say that it's probably invested so much time into that one person that it's going to try and get as early as it can.
So what if it were to bite someone, say like an immortal or something like that, and then it will only stay to that one person because that person's there from the beginning of time?
But it kills that person.
Oh no, but if that person's gone forever, it keeps going back and back and back right until the beginning of the universe.
Well, I was thinking that the Zalvoth is more like a wild creature, so it doesn't really think about the people that it bites.
Okay.
It just bites.
So it just attaches itself to you.
Yeah.
To your family or to you?
No, to you.
I know, there's something in there. You know the Banshees? They attach themselves to a family.
Oh,
and,
okay,
and
yeah.
they forebode. I know.
I like the family idea. That could be cool. And then we could also get his mum in, and then you've got a character.
Hello, everyone.
Right at the end,
I love Oscar, my son.
it's just you and me for the entire episode, and then at the end, hello, Oscar, the end.
No, I like it. I like it. There's something in it. You do have to find a woman in there somewhere who's got more of a part than doing tapestry in the background.
It's much like my dating life. I have to find a woman in there somewhere.
Well, why can't your doctor already have a female companion as well?
True, yeah, could
You
do,
know,
yeah.
and then Edgar becomes part of it. And why couldn't Edgar be the Zoloff or the creature, or
Zalvoth.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it, or in cahoots with it? You know, because you say he doesn't recognize. I don't know.
I have actually there. I am kind of keeping a little bit
Back, really. You're not telling us the whole story.
If I do write it, I've kind of figured out what the ending will be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm leaving a little bit of mystery. There is a reason why Edgar doesn't remember the Doctor.
Oh.
Opposed to me, who just gave away all my ending. Just gave it away all for free.
Yeah. I just sort of crapped on for a while and then hoped someone could come up with an ending.
Yeah, so I like the idea of the Doctor having a female companion, because then obviously we could get Claudia back, and she could be the
Nobody wants me anymore. All right, I'm going to direct. And every time you say something I don't like, I'll go, cut. That's ridiculous. Well, I think we've got three very...
So do
although
I.
you said they're turn of the century, they're three very different ideas.
Yeah, coming from three different places. We all seem to gravitate towards turn of the century historical figures, though. You and I are both Victorian era, and you're just after.
Yeah. And I think one of the things is that there's a lot of mystery around that. You know, people die and they probably died of things that we would know what they are now, but we didn't. They didn't then.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of uneducation back then. That's what's helping us.
Yeah.
Uneducation, yes.
Yeah.
Ignorance, is that what
Yeah.
the word
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
looking for?
Yeah, a lot of dumbasses, and we're just taking advantage of it, really.
All right, so the 3 episodes you have to vote on, we will be putting it up. If it's not already on our Twitter and Facebook already, it will be in the next day or so.
Well, let's give them a title so they know so we don't have to put the whole synopsis up.
Okay, all right.
So we've got Houdini,
We've got
Dr. Houdini.
Dr. Houdini.
Dr. Houdini,
Ben's episode, Dr. Houdini, including Matt Smith and Clara, visiting Houdini in 1920s England and meeting up with Lord Claude, played by Bill Bailey, who has the resurrection gauntlet. Nicchia, what would you like to title your episode?
Well, at the moment, I shall just call mine The Nth Dimension.
The Nth Dimension, featuring Tom Baker and Sarah Jane, and the historical
And
figure
W.B. Yeats.
W.B. Yeats, Dark Matter, and Time Slips.
Yes.
For me, my episode will be called Wild Adventures.
With Adam.
Yeah, the doctor is me. Ta-da! The historical figure is Oscar Wilde, and the alien race is the Xylvoth, who travel backwards in time. The episode plays in backwards order as the Doctor tries to save Oscar Wilde from the Xylvoth.
Like Memento. Did you ever watch that movie?
It's a great movie.
Loved
Fantastic movie.
I love Guy Pearce.
I haven't watched Memento. Is that the one with the all the tattoos?
Yeah, and he goes
oh,
backwards.
God.
I always just
Yes.
imagine as him being like an open mic comedian trying to write down all his notes before he goes on stage.
It would suck to tattoo it on your skin and then like, oh, that joke doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can you cross that out?
Yeah. If you'll just excuse me, I need to remember what joke I'm doing. I just have to look at my right thigh.
If I was ever a porn actor, I would be Benjamin Unbutton. Another person who goes through backwards in time.
Benjamin Unbutton.
The irony is that all your clothing has zips on it. All right. Thank you very much. That's today's episode. Does anyone have anything else they want to bring up?
Ooh, I did just try and get my girlfriend. I have a relationship now. I tried to get her into Doctor Who.
Is this your plug?
No,
You
no,
have a
no.
girlfriend?
Hang on. Woo!
Yeah.
We're just doing a cheer for you.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right.
I tried to get her to watch. I found a really good episode for trying to get someone onto, because we were trying to get MJ on.
Yeah. What episodes did you start her with?
The Bells of St. John.
Oh, really?
Because it's a established doctor, new companion. They go and re-explain everything about him, and
I do like that.
it's pretty self-explanatory. There's no real loose ends.
Is
in
that
the
the
episode.
one where he meets Clara? Actual Clara?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it when she goes Doctor Who and he goes, oh, say that again. I never knew how much I liked that.
Yeah. Is that that's also the one where he rides the motorcycle up the
the-
side?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a really
interesting.
underrated episode. Yeah.
We were thinking Blink and
Blink
The
was a good
Witchfinder.
one.
I got her to watch that as well.
The Witchfinder.
So
The Witchfinders with
Witchfinder. I haven't
done
Alan
that yet.
Cummings.
we did the 50-year anniversary episode because
yeah.
it kind of established the idea that he's the same person but different people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
What about his first episode, Matt Smith's first episode, the 11th hour? That is my
I'm going to do that.
favourite.
I gave her one of Jodie Whittaker's.
You've set homework for her.
Oh, no, we watched
If
it the other day.
we're to date, you will do this homework.
Oh, we've made a deal because I talk about cricket and football all the time. And so in return, I've got to buy a squash racket. Because she loves squash. And then the other day, we were just on a walk and she just casually just drops, oh, hey, did I happen to mention between the ages of 9 and 15, I was the number 2 in Malaysia for my age group in squash? I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh dear, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
I can't even do the nice boyfriend thing. It's like, oh, I'm letting you win.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to
You're
get
getting destroyed.
And that is a bloody hard game, squash.
Yeah.
I don't even know the rules.
Do you know, everyone used to play squash when I was growing up. Everywhere you went, there were squash courts. On the weekend, you'd all get together and play squash. I played it as a school sport.
Maybe you should go up against Ben's girlfriend.
Oh, God, yeah.
I could use all the help.
And I'm now 900 years old,
Yeah.
so I've kind of...
Do you want to dress up as Ben and pretend to be him?
Please.
Well, I could. I like Doctor Who and cricket. I don't like football, but I like Doctor Who and cricket. So, you know.
can wing it.
Every now
Yeah.
and then I'll go, oh, you're playing with a bit of a straight bat there,
Yeah.
eh?
You complain that there's no women, but we're offering you a role that's for a woman.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks. And I
Hello, I'm Ben Rolfe. I'll be playing squash with you today.
can't wait for my one line in your audio where I go, but Doctor. Oh.
Oh, that would be hilarious, but I don't think you would let me ever live it down.
No, I think that there were 3 really interesting, different ideas.
Let us know which one you want to see done.
And I really want to learn more about the Secret Order now.
Go and read about the Golden Dawn Society. That's quite fascinating.
I know Darwin used to be part of a secret society, but their thing was basically he just wanted to go around and taste all of the animals, which is one of the reasons why he started looking into the evolution of animals, so he could just have an excuse to go around and be like, "Oh, might give that a taste."
I want to pitch a new episode now.
It's Charles Darwin going around eating animals.
And he eats your animal.
Wait, is that a euphemism?
No. Yes, because it's my porn one.
He eats your animal.
No, what's it? The Zoloft.
The Zylvoth.
I can't pronounce it. He eats that.
I think Zoloft is a medication, which I hadn't realised until you just started saying Zoloft instead of Zylvoth.
Well, I'm starting to pick up on, we went and saw the wonderful and hilarious Steph Tisdale, and she does a bit of a joke about how all antidepressant medication sounds like X-Men names, like Zoloft.
Ben, would you like to plug anything coming up?
I have not got anything on at the moment. Follow me on my Facebook page, Ben Rolfe Comedy Guy. So if anyone watches Doctor Who but also loves rugby league, I don't know how that works in on that Venn diagram.
I know, Matt Ford loves Doctor Who.
Matt Ford already follows my Simpsons-related NRL memes page on Facebook with 12,000 people. So, I think the one person who listens to this is already on my page. So,
okay.
Who's your team?
Newcastle Knights. We're going to finally have a good season after so many years of pain.
Aww.
Yeah.
Nicchia.
Just my comedy page. Follow that around. All in last Friday of every month.
And you can also catch me as part of the Anywhere Festival. I'm part of Real Life Fake News. Friday, May the 10th should be at 7:30 p.m. So please check that out. D4WH is on Facebook. Give our page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D4WHpod. We'll post questions and polls and would love your input and feedback. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook and follow us on Podbean. We are also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Also, get the word out. You may be standing behind someone in line at a coffee shop when you hear the words Doctor Who. You pull your headphones out and interrupt their conversation to tell them all about your favourite podcast, D4WH. However, it turns out the person in front of you isn't a fellow Whovian, like you thought, but someone in the middle of a sentence talking about their doctor who called them to book a checkup. Still, they tell you they'll be sure to check out D4WH. They may just be doing it to make you go away. Keep searching the skies for the Doctor. Thanks so much, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Thank you, Beck Tech.